everybody. So we're going to do the weekly news recap for this week, 7 to 13 April. Not a whole lot to talk about this week, to be honest. Mostly industry bullshit. Not many games announced yet. Anyway, there's a Star Wars game to be announced at some stage today, but it's on American time, so far too early for me, or far too late, whatever way you want to put it. Anyway, let's get a look-see here. I should really set these things up before I start, but anyway. Okay, we're good. Right, so kind of sort of announcing news. Coffee Talk headed to PC and consoles. So some people might remember I had a quick look at this game mid last year at some point. It was just looked interesting. It was a kind of bartending game, but a coffee shop, so a little bit different. The art style looked fun, and the characters seemed interesting as well. But anyway, it's getting a PC and PS4 and Xbox One release, so not Switch. Where is it here? It's here somewhere. PS4, Xbox One at some stage in 2019. So that's fun. I honestly kind of forgot about the game, to be honest. So it's good to see it's still making some progress. There is a demo on Steam at the moment. The demo I played was on itch.io or itch.io, whatever way you want to pronounce that. I imagine the demo on Steam is probably a bit further along than the initial one that I checked out. But, if you liked it, check it out. Moving on. So it's a press release from .nod or Don't Nod, or I don't know how they say their name actually, but they're renewing their partnership or collaboration with Focus Home Interactive. So this is because the game Vampyr sold 1 million copies finally. Took them a while, although to be fair, I didn't actually think they'd ever make that number. But good, I'm glad they did, because Vampyr, despite having some problems, did particularly I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed the kind of social aspect to it, the kind of manipulating people and that kind of thing. That was fun. Not combat, not so much, but they did change that in the later patch, so I suppose there's that. But yeah, so maybe we'll see Vampyr too. I don't know. There were like Twitter announcements and things from Don't Nod to say that they're going to do something even more ambitious. So fun to see. In Hell Has Frozen Over news, you can now change your PSN ID on PSN. Finally. So this is from the PlayStation blog. They go through a couple of questions on what you can do, how you can do it, and so on. Some things to pay attention to, though. This one. Do all games support online ID change? Some of them do, some of them don't. Particularly these ones. So all that really means is if you have anything that's on a game server specifically tied to your name, so leaderboards, multiplayer progress, that kind of thing, that's tied to your old name. So if you change your name, you're basically starting from scratch. So you might want to try to beat your old score. I don't know. No one can get your old ID, so that's good. So you still, you get to keep it. Or rather, no one can sort of like, oh, hang on, this guy was level whatever in this game. Maybe if I take his ID now that he's changed it. But no, it's still tied to you. So there's some good stuff there, but definitely keep an eye on this kind of list of games that don't really support it or what problems there might be. And there's some other caveats. But anyway, the link is there. If you are interested in changing your ID, check that out. I'm not, because that handle, Doomtrain 5, if you want to look me up, is it's pretty much everything I use, so I have no interest in changing it, but if you want to. Fallout 76 players say incoming repair kits break Bethesda's no pay to win promise. So in Fallout 76 there is an in-game store where you use premium currency atoms to buy things, and at this point it had been cosmetic stuff, because for some reason that's a carve out that people are okay with. Anyway, that's a different discussion for another day, but basically it was all cosmetic stuff. It was nothing that really affected the gameplay. But now they're allowing repair kits to be bought there. So repair kits are for like your armor breaks down or your weapons break down or whatever, and you can use a repair kit to get it back up to snuff. And apparently they break down fairly often. Having not played the game myself, I have no idea, but apparently they break down fairly often. So you get repair kits for doing missions and quests and stuff, and sometimes you can just pick them up in the world. You get them often enough that they're not exactly rare, but not so often that you can just willy-nilly do whatever you want. So the feeling here is that if you can just buy them, then the way you play the game will change drastically. If you know that you can just dump money and have more repair kits, and you have the money to do that, or you have the psychological problem to not see a problem with that, I don't know. Anyway, it is breaking their promise. It is. Pete Hines doesn't think it is, but it is. Anyway, this is like a... Well, one, it's already bad because it is now pay to win, in a way. You're not necessarily paying to get a better gun or get better armor or anything, but you're paying to basically have your weapons never degrade, more or less. Like, functionally, they're like infinite degradation. No, the other one. Negative infinite degradation. Anyway, bad things. Anyway, we'll move on. In Activision being shitty again news, Activision-Blizzard wants to know how its employees' pregnancies are going. What hellish dystopia do we live in? Okay, so this is a report from the Washington Post. So I'm not giving you the Washington Post link because it's paywalled. So if you want to, it's here. There's a hyperlink from this link if you really want to jump through the hoops, or you can probably just Google it. Basically, they're offering like this third-party fertility tracker thing for its employees, and then they get the anonymized data back. So there's some couple of quotes from different people from from different sides of things. It's like, you're prying into our lives, and then the guy said, oh, everything's fine. Where is he? Every time we introduced, there was a bit of an outcry, but then everyone is fine. Eventually people understood it's all voluntary. There's no gun to your head, except I'm your manager and I'm gonna casually suggest that you do this for us. They get a $1 gift card every day they use this. So 9 months of pregnancy, 30 days, 39s. It's too early for maths. 270. Anyway, they don't tell you what they do with the data. And they don't tell you how they're using the data. Is your manager privy to that data? Is nobody privy to that? It couldn't be nobody. Why would they bother? Most people say it's so they can adjust your health insurance. There's another quote somewhere else, but it's not in this article, for the guy who runs the data scheme. To basically say that, we want to be sure that our employees are healthy and they're not worried about their baby and so on. It's pretty gross. There's no reason for them to have this data, ever. Jim Sterling has a video up on his channel about this, which I know some people find him to be a bit caustic and a bit confrontational, but he does have a pretty good summary of why this is bad. If you can look past the character, I find the character funny, but if you can look past the character, the stuff he's saying is important to keep in mind. So this is another article from Jason Schreier. So this is leading from the bullshit of what Anthem turned out to be, or its whole thing. Stop showing me pictures of E. coli. It's gross. Is there a better picture that I can look at? Okay, cool. We'll look at this picture instead. Right. That wasn't a picture of E. coli. It was a picture of ground mints. I know. Shut up. Anyway, this is an article about what's up with Dragon Age 4. Why is it taking so long? Basically, there was going to be a Dragon Age 4. And then they canned it in 2017 because Anthem was doing shit at the time. So they basically needed everyone in BioWare to work on Anthem. So no one could work on Dragon Age at the time. The creative director for Dragon Age 4 was like, the fuck? So I'm out of here. He left. So Dragon Age 4 disappeared, more or less. They've basically started from scratch since, I guess, 2017, 2018, something like that. So it's going to be a while before we see Dragon Age 4. it's going to be a long time. There's a very good, this article definitely goes into the kind of behind the scenes of what the fuck's going on, but you can more or less attribute it to Frostbite, EA insisting on live services, EA insisting people use Frostbite, and BioWare not making decisions. And, you know, the same shit that was the problem with Anthem basically impacted all projects at the time, and the other project was Dragon Age 4, so that happened. The idea they had for Dragon Age 4 looked really interesting. Is it here somewhere? This is why I should prepare these things ahead of time. There it is. You play as a group of spies in the Tevinter Imperium, and you go on kind of heists, and you know, it's pretty interesting. It was going to be a kind of shorter game that would, because it would be so choice-based and impact-based, that you would replay it to see what the differences were. So it wasn't going to be like this ridiculous, enormous thing that Dragon Age Inquisition turned into. It would be smaller, maybe Dragon Age 2 sized. Hopefully not anything else with Dragon Age 2. But anyway, whatever. That game's gone. So who knows what it's going to turn into. EA is pushing that live services bullshit and still insisting on Frostbite. You know, who knows? This is probably the end of BioWare, to be fair. So, game that I hope would have been announced, but obviously I should have read the date. 1:30 p.m. Central, so I have no idea. No idea what that is. Anyway, it's well later in the day. But Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, we're going to get some news about it. This is Respawn Entertainment's single-player, supposedly, Star Wars game. Written by Chris Avellone. And if you know that name, you know it should be fairly interesting in what that story turns into. But some details have leaked ahead of time. There was a key art image that leaked, but for whatever reason, it's not... And these articles have it for some reason. Anyway, so here's one. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is a single-player story game with no multiplayer and no microtransactions. It's pretty bad that... Like, one, I'm happy about that, obviously. But it's pretty bad that that's news. You know, that's something to be like, oh, hooray! You know, it's like... Anyway. So there's a kind of announcement thing there for him to go... It's better that we're going to see his journey. It's a single player game. Yay! No multiplayer. Yay! No microtransactions. Yay! It's a sad stage for the game industry to be in, that these are considered, you know, things to be raving about. I'm happy. I am. But, you know, this shit shouldn't, like, even be in there. So, one, that's kind of going against EA. It's not a live service if it's not multiplayer. Maybe. No microtransactions. Now, games have said this before. Like Division 2 said The Division said there'd be no microtransactions, and you know there very quickly were. The Modern Warfare remake was not supposed to have microtransactions, but then it did. You know, there's games that shoehorn multiplayer in for no reason. Yeah, I mean, it's from Zampella, who's like the, you know, game director or studio director anyway, so you would assume he's telling the truth, but who knows. And then also, Unreal Engine 4 is powering Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, not Frostbite. Meanwhile, BioWare look ongoing. Come on, guys, what the fuck? Again, good news, because they're not hampered by it. Unreal is, you know, supported. A lot of third-party developers use it because they don't have the money to build their own engine. Or the desire to build their own engine because of all the bullshit that comes with it. So, good. Good. Hopefully it won't have the same problems that every other EA game that isn't a sports game or that isn't a first-person game won't have. But, you know, again, it's pretty bad that this is considered huge news. You know, being shoehorned by Frostbite has hindered both of BioWare's last games, so Andromeda and Anthem. It's the reason Visceral is gone, because of their Star Wars game. Like, we're kind of hoping this is EA learning its lesson, and just saying, you know what, we fucked up with Battlefront, and, you know, we fucked up with Anthem. I doubt it somehow. I think this is more EA saying, we're just not going to fuck with Star Wars because it makes too much money. So just give them, you know, whatever they want. Disney probably gave them a big old slap after the Battlefront, or not Battlefront. Which one's the Star Wars game? Battlefront, I think. I don't know. Disney probably gave them a big slap after that loot box controversy and getting them in the news for being gambling games. So they're probably at this point just saying, just get a good game out, get people happy about it, get some hype going. I don't know. Hopefully that's what they're doing. But yeah, that's the game news for this month. Not too many announcements. Coffee Talk, not really an announcement since we knew the game was there already. But it's good that it's getting a proper console release, so more people will get to see it. PSN online ID changes. They've been asking them for years. I don't even know if people still want it. I guess they do. I'm seeing like tweets about people going, "Yay! I changed my ID." It doesn't saying wake and bake anymore or whatever. The stuff about Fallen Order, we'll see. I mean, the game is being announced. There'll be a trailer or whatever. They'll talk more about it in a couple of hours. Many hours, probably while I'm asleep. Who knows? Goddamn time zones. And then some Dragon Age news. Who knows what the hell is happening with BioWare anymore. Anyway, elsewhere on the channel, I did a couple of streams this week. I streamed a bit of Phoenix Wright, and I streamed a bit of Falcon Age. So they're on VODs on Twitch, or they're on YouTube now. It's Stream Archive. Next week, Katana Zero is going to be out, so I'm going to try to do a stream of that. Also, I am kind of eager to start doing a more long-term kind of LP stream. So Rogue Galaxy or Darksiders 1. I haven't decided yet which one. It'll be one of them. Probably Darksiders, to be honest, because it's shorter. And it will give me a kind of feel of how the LP stuff should work. But I will get to Rogue Galaxy, definitely, because I really want to play that game again. Otherwise, that's this week. Bit earlier than usual, I think. I still don't really have a time for doing this. It's more or less whenever I wake up. And I woke up somewhat earlier today, so that's that. Anyway. Thanks for coming out to watch. Again, if you missed any or came in late or whatever, the VOD is on Twitch, and this will be a stream archive on YouTube tomorrow at some point. Okay? Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.